LeBron is on the court versus off the court, resting during games, is a bigger margin than when Giannis is doing the same thing for his team. So that's another measure saying that he does more for the Lakers than Giannis does for the Bucks. And then, let's not forget, he's 35 years old, year 17. He has navigated a China controversy and maybe the biggest tragedy in the history of the NBA this season. That's extra stuff that, quite frankly, Giannis is not going through. And playing in the better conference and has the spotlight on him every single day. I mean, to me, all those things, the actual basketball life experience that LeBron James goes through, adds to the degree of difficulty, and I think that should be taken into account by the voters.
I have been campaigning, including on this show, for LeBron James to be the MVP of the league. And they're going to take their foot off the gas at some point, the Lakers are, as they get to the end, because they have such a comfortable lead in the West. So you figure they're going to rest Anthony Davis a little. They're going to rest LeBron a little as they play the final week or so. My goal is to get LeBron James the MVP this season, and in my opinion, and from what I've heard from people on my set, including you, Stephen A., a big factor in that will be, do they finish with the best record in the NBA? And this hurt.
What do you see from LeBron here in this 17th season? Because there are people who say that he should be ahead in the MVP race just because of what he's doing, where he's doing it, and now, of course, with the burden with everything that happened with that team and Kobe Bryant's tragic death.
So you're going to tell me that through the midst of a pandemic, through social protest about systematic racism and the voice that LeBron James has had in the direction of the critical mass of our country that he has stood on, if he's able to win a world championship through going down to a hot pocket in Orlando where it's gone up 380% in the last week of COVID-19 cases, to go into that bubble after losing Avery Bradley, taking J.R. Smith on this team, that you're not going to let this win this championship if he gets it, take him to a different stratosphere. You can make the case that all these things it's insurmountable to a degree. If he's able to accomplish this is probably more difficult to accomplish than actually just winning during the regular NBA playoffs. It for sure will take him to a different level. And people may not compare him to Muhammad Ali and others because maybe, he didn't go over and not fight a war or other people. But still, what he's doing right now is monumental for today's athlete. It's way more than being an athlete.
I want to play with him. Now, here's my thing. The last documentary was the best sports documentary that I ever saw. But it was one thing I took away from it. It was full of lies and it was full of snitching. And when we look at Michael Jordan, and I'm glad he's not my GOAT. LeBron James is my GOAT, but that's y'all GOAT. He lied. He threw everybody under the bus. At the end of the day, the last dance was to make MJ look like a superhero and make everybody else look like a villain. So at the end of the day, I'm just happy that LeBron James is my GOAT. Y'all can deal with MJ and all his lies, but LBJ is my GOAT, and I'm happy to be part of Team James.
I did not vote for him for MVP. I voted for LeBron James because I tend to be more of a narrative-based voter, and I feel like LeBron James took a Lakers team that had missed the playoffs 6 years in a row up to the top spot in the West after all of the dysfunction of the summer before. So I think he gets credit for that as well.